A powerful Russian force, possibly from the 15th Pyatnashka Brigade, counterattacked the Ukrainian salient in Russia's Kursk Oblast on or just before Sunday. The attack, which targeted the Ukrainian-held village of Plekhovo on the southern edge of the salient, didn't just fail, it failed in the most ironic way possible. The Russian column got stuck in anti-tank traps, a trench, and a line of concrete obstacles that the Russians had built prior to the Ukrainian invasion of Kursk in early August. There are two main Russian-built defensive structures outside Plekhovo, the anti-tank traps, and a nearby infantry trench complex. The attacking Russians were struggling to get through the anti-tank traps when the Ukrainian 129th Territorial Defense Brigade launched a wave of explosive drones. Our soldiers taught a lesson to the Russian occupiers and their equipment, burned dozens of armored vehicles, and liquidated the enemy's personnel, Ukrainian war correspondent Yuri Butasov wrote. The Russian-made defenses that helped foil that recent Russian assault could have been a serious obstacle to the Ukrainian invasion, but weren't. According to captured Russian intelligence, the defenses outside Plekhovo were garrisoned by several platoons and at least one company, altogether with potentially several hundreds troops. But the Russian troops in Kursk were caught off guard by the surprise Ukrainian attack on August 6, and couldn't bring their significant firepower, including nearly 200 artillery pieces, to bear before the fast-moving Ukrainian mechanized troops were upon them. So the anti-tank traps and circular infantry trenches became Ukrainian assets. And unlike the previous Russian occupants, the new occupants from the 129th Territorial Defense Brigade fully expected a counterattack and were prepared to take advantage of the well-made defenses. It's credit to the Russian engineers who built the defenses outside Plekhovo that these defenses worked as advertised and slowed an enemy assault long enough for the local defenders to deploy their best firepower. That their comrades built effective anti-tank traps is surely cold comfort to the Russian troops who ultimately got caught in the trap, however. The Russian military has suffered almost 10,000 casualties within the space of a week, according to data sourced from Ukraine's armed forces. Ukrainian figures suggested that Russia lost 1,340 personnel last Thursday, 1,440 on Friday, 1,500 on Saturday, 1,330 on Sunday, 1,400 on Monday, 1,250 on Tuesday, 1,400 on Wednesday, bringing the total lost over this 7-day period to 9,660. Russia does not publicize its military losses, and analysts are skeptical of figures released by Kyiv. Kyiv's latest update on daily Russian casualties, posted to the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine's official X, formerly Twitter account early Thursday, also indicated that Moscow lost 10 tanks, 71 artillery systems, 67 unmanned aerial vehicles, and 149 vehicles within the space of 24 hours. On Wednesday, the ministry said Russia lost 115 drones, or UAVs, over a similar time span, its worst daily loss of UAVs this month. Ukraine's most recent updates on its war efforts follows earlier reporting that suggested Russian artillery losses reached record highs in July and August, according to Kyiv's figures. In July, Russia lost 1,520 artillery systems and 1,517 in August. In September thus far, 984 systems have been destroyed. These months also saw some of the highest losses of Russian military personnel so far, with 35,680 in July and 36,810 in August. On Tuesday, data sourced from Ukraine's armed forces indicated that Russian losses of military personnel hit their second highest three-day levels since the reignition of its conflict with Ukraine. Newsweek has previously visualized Russian personnel, tank, and artillery losses in 2024 as of September 18th, according to figures published by Ukrainian authorities. May was Russia's worst month for tank losses so far this year, with 428 destroyed. It was the second deadliest month in the war for Russian tank crews, following October 2023 with 521. Subsequent months saw 359 losses in June, 300 in July, and 193 in August. On Wednesday, Ukraine also claimed to have destroyed a Russian Buk M3 air defense system, one of Russia's newest medium-range air defense systems. Something went wrong with the Russian Buk M3 air defense system, the Ukrainian government said in an online post. The Ukrainian warriors destroyed it. Kyiv shared footage which appeared to show the strike on the system. Newsweek could not independently verify the video, but the Institute for the Study of War, ISW, a US-based think tank, said the footage was geolocated to a site east of the Kursk city of Rilsk. The Kursk territory, currently controlled by Ukraine, sits southeast of the settlement. Ukraine has pressed hard for the US and the United Kingdom to drop their prohibition on American ATACMS and British Storm Shadow missiles to be used to target Russian territory, amid concerns that Kyiv's use would escalate the conflict. Ukraine says it needs the long-range weapons to target air bases used by Russia's warplanes that launch glide bombs against Kyiv, often from deep inside Russian territory. Storm Shadow missiles with a range of around 150 miles have been used against Russian targets in occupied Ukrainian territory only.